box.
If you notice anything out of the ordinary, please report it right away.
Let's take the medicinal herbs to be marched on once they're ready.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world.
Muy bien, ya se me
Even
está
the wind
escuchando.
cannot blow on forever.
Ahora la cara. Listo, ya se estoy. Ahora sí. Hey, ¿cómo está, gente de YouTube? Aquí un nuevo directo para el canal. Nos encontramos nuevamente en Genshin Impact. Y hoy continuaremos con la misión del arconte. Tenemos que ir a buscar a Scaramuccia, porque recuerden que lo hemos perdido. Supongo que Najida está por aquí. Así que bueno, chicos, nos toca buscar a Scaramuccia.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
No digas obvio,
This is an
Paimon.
emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me. An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay? Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe. Her voice is gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Tienes razón, Lumi.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible. Right, you can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
Qué gran ejemplo, Paimon. Estas
So,
impresiones.
why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Oh, Paimon's so confused.
Quizás.
Sorry, Paimon accidentally. It's the balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all
Deja de
this
echarle la
mental
culpa a
stress.
Scaramuccia.
But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be... So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things?
¿Por qué no pudo pensar en otra cosa?
Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here.
Tantas hobbies que podrían hacer y tienen que hacer eso de la comida.
Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake.
No está funcionando.
Chicken. Almond tofu. Satisfying salad.
Todas las comidas que existen en el mundo.
Also, Adeptus Temptation. Golden shrimp balls. Triple layered consomme. Lotus seed and bird egg soup. And...
Ya se desmayó. Sí que se volvió loca. Ahora ella fue la que se quedó dormida.
What do we...
Ese se llama Bob. Bob, haz algo.
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now?
¿Quién sabe, Paiman?
Talking? Huh.
Bro, está aquí arriba.
Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. The balladeer? Is that a food too?
Ya lo olvido.
Weird name though.
Ay, güey. ¿Cómo va eso? Se me acaba.
What's wrong?
Ay, güey.
Your eyes are like
que se mató a
saucers.
Bob. Ey,
Was
¿por
it
qué
something
matas a
Paimon
mi
said?
No, no es nada.
The balladeer. Is that someone's name? Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
Y Bob se llama Bob. Entonces mataste al robot. No.
Okay, sure. Where are we going? Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Ay, Dios, ¿qué está pasando? Pues vaya que lo logró el vato. ¿Tienes mis felicitaciones, Scaramuccia? Ay, Dios, ya estamos empezando con los gritos.
Swan Fury.
No.
Oigan, vamos a ver qué pasa.
Ah, it's been a while.
¿Estás
Of
otra vez
course.
acá?
Go ahead.
No.
Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches: Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and
Senju.
Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5.
Así que Kazuha se está dedicando a eso.
You yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh, yeah, Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too.
No, pues
It seems like such a shame.
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed.
Cuéntanos.
In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans, but never the cause.
Lamento las gritos de mi compañero.
Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Totara Suna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Totara Suna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but
Yo iba a meter.
neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself
Casi. Los
and
voy a
grew
llevar.
up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy.
No.
He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this
No,
family
esto no termina.
reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and
Ayuda.
yet he could do nothing to change it.
Ándele. Torreta.
Finally, he made
Se
a
quedó al lado.
drastic
Ay.
decision
Kiriko,
to take
fíjate.
revenge on the
Hazle
Raiden
no.
Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pet anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara
hacer
and
una pelea
Kamisato
sin
clans,
morirme casi?
his killing spree came to an
Otra vez
abrupt
lo dijo.
end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
¿Dónde está? Está.
I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Kiriko, cállese. Bueno, yo solo leo como cállese.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon.
Desafortunadamente te oculta un montón de cosas.
Lead the way, traveler.
Y la
Paimon
Kiriko
will be right behind you.
Bien, ahora dónde vamos. Elegido de comisión Yashiro, vamos a ir a hablar con Ashato Ayaka. Suárez que sea con Ayato, es el que conoce mejor su historia. Pues no era necesario volar.
We're here. This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate.
Oh, demonios, y
They're
con los
not
dos
here
está.
right now.
Are they out on business?
No me fui atrás.
The
¿Por qué no
commissioner
me
is out on
pones
business,
eso?
and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the commissioner's place.
Perdón.
If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
Oh, no.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Bien.
Tenía que estamos.
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the commissioner's behalf. As for the commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
Eso es
So
bueno.
pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Ah, ya no pregunto. ¿Me tiraron la pizza? Sí. Bueno, pues tocó hablar y
Well, got any more questions?
es lo segundo divertido que me...
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come
Haremos
and
lo
visit
posible por
more
pasar más seguido
often.
por aquí.
But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's
Creo que
always saying
la
how
Yaka está
talented
exagerando
you
todo
are
sobre
and how
nosotros.
much she admires
Ah, me
you.
descubrieron el personaje.
I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here.
No, muchas
So
gracias.
you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all. I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma is a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking
Parece que los
about
Kamisato nos tienen
people
mucho
they've
cariño.
met
Me
and
pregunto por qué será. Me pregunto por qué
experiences
será.
they've had, you always get a
Creo que ya dijo, o sea, esto es lo que dijo Ivar, se están dando tanto relleno que no es.
and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, so in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. Wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime.
Of course.
Bueno, siempre que
Great. Goodbye, ma'am.
siempre que hay algo innecesario me lo quitaré de encima.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep. Everything's taken care of now.
Ay, era el suyo.
Very well. Safe travels.
Oye, vamos a sacar a Zona.
¿Dónde está? No la encuentro.
Realmente aquí es donde ya encontramos los cambios, chicos.
No la encontré.
Swan Fury.
Oh, pero sí es él.
No.
Ya hace tiempo que no lo veíamos.
Well,
Desde que hicieron la visión de Tarazona.
No. Ay, me atoré con el cartel. ¿Qué mierda de diseño es eso?
or someone.
¿Qué mierda de
Do
diseño
my
es eso,
eyes
de verdad?
deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
No,
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific
No,
area.
ya, sí, voy a
There,
quitar.
that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here. Hmm? Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago.
A ver,
I'm
cuenta.
told that its history as one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too.
Increíble.
They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade.
Ay, qué bueno que
Seems
no
like the
salieron los
technological
pavos de
collaboration
Ricardo.
between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask already.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I
¡Ay!
can't say that I
¿Qué?
have.
¿Y ese cuarto desde cuándo
I do know the
existe?
word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who
Sí,
always go
había
around
un puta
dressed to the
maquinita en ese cuarto
nines.
y me...
Just the sort of person that I'd like to
Acribilló.
meet, actually.
No,
Muy bien,
But
parece que
sadly, I've
ese.
never had the pleasure, nor have
Parece
I
que
come
sí
across
Scaramuccia lo
anything of
logró.
a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is
Cambió por
concerned.
completo la historia.
Salvaje mi araquerito y no me me pasé de imbécil. Esta nada más. Ya se fue.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh,
Voy a
you're
intentar
most
ir por aquí.
welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Bien, fue bueno volver a verlos, la verdad. Nos fue de mucha
All
ayuda.
the information you're looking for.
Ok.
Sure,
Okay.
but what's up with
Me
you
estaría
today?
pensando mucho.
Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you. Hey, don't mention it. Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Nos volvemos a hacer la gira. Ecos del pasado. El acto final del kabuki mono.
Oh, no.
Vuelve al santuario Surazana.
The wind rises. Hey, it's them.
Yo lo sé, yo lo sé. Está aquí. Ah, no está loca.
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Still looking for more
No,
info
quiero
about
verme.
Tatarasuna, huh?
No.
Should we join them?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
Hay que esperar que haya un cambio.
No, toqué, pero no pude. Eso no fue no se puede. Chinga tu madre. Ah, ching.
Como siempre, yo les pasaré esto para que ustedes puedan poner la pausa y puedan leer todo si les interesa leer esto.
A ver si fui yo. La única forma de comprobar.
Yo ya estoy leyendo rápido.
No lo vi. Ah, no, fue un 5K, ¿no? No sé qué. ¿Qué? Sí, eso sí lo vi, pero ¿qué? Ay, no. A ver. Sí, yo también vi y decía mitad, bastión y nada. ¿Pues ya? ¿En serio? Ah. ¿Qué voy a ir? Esto es como de cerquita, ¿no? Más o menos. Voy a ir. No sé. Yo, ahorita veo. Santuario. Igual yo creo. O. eh,
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
Vamos a leer solo las partes amarillas,
Ay,
que
la
creo que
tienes.
son los cambios.
Ay, güey, ¿por qué me explotó? What? ¿Qué fue eso? Sí, eso pasó. Se me olvidó ya cómo jugar. Ay, güey, maté dos. What the fuck? Soy un personaje de suerte increíble. Increíble este personaje. Oh, no. Se enojó conmigo. ¡Ah!
Pero aquí no se da tanta importancia.
Esa cosa fue más suerte, o sea.
Well, what do you think?
Uy, mira quién
Traveler,
cayó.
remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this?
What did you find out?
Estuvo atrás de ese güey, estuvo atrás del grandote.
Basically, we have some
Ah,
friends
mira,
in
se llama
Inazu.
Ah, me voy.
Muy bien, ahí le cuentan todo.
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Armanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true.
Oh,
Muy
no.
probablemente.
So there's
Ay,
no
se
ghost
lo
story
tocó.
here after all.
This
Totalmente.
information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those
Lo voy a
days,
enojar más,
to
chécate.
the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
¿Te imaginas que le dan así? Uy.
Ok.
No,
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and
Welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Sayonara. Habla con Ajida.
No, ¿qué dijo? La mano de la pendeja. ¡No! Hay una. No sé. Sí se muere, ¿verdad? Ay, sí se murió. La maté la vez.
Nahida, we're here. Traveler, Paimon, how have you been? Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then she decided she wanted to go to Inazuma. The Balladeer?
Ay, ok, perdón.
Ya ni siquiera ella lo recuerda.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell
Me da
me?
risa. Soy un personaje de esa y se enojan conmigo. Oye, activa algo. Activa.
Traveler? Hey, what's wrong?
A
You
ver,
look
voy a
so
empezar con...
upset.
Punto. No, ¿cómo que no se murió? Algo hice mal, porque no se murió.
Realmente los Shogun sí logro recordarlo.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past. But how was he even able to do that? As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed? And we just don't remember him because... well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The traveler comes from a world beyond Javat. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul. And it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect her. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Realmente lo es.
Having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
No le vi. Vale. Creo que no debí de pensar. Es una idea perfecta. Ya aprendí. Pero está bien.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died,
Se fue a poner que...
right? Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. The story makes sense. Every part of it. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help.
No.
He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless.
Sí, yo
He
también.
gave everything to do this,
No.
but
Vaya, cómo cambió tu actitud hacia Scaramuccia. Quizás porque no lo recuerdas, así me gusta.
Ahora sí la creo.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one.
turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should
¿Serio?
take a look.
A ver.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything.
Hold on. So this record survived from the
Mira.
past? Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki movement of the records will have been changed.
Ok.
But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything.
No lo voy a hacer.
This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. The now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and once in a while. The monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it.
No. Lo voy a intentar la
But
manga,
the
pero
monster
Lucio
soon
no lo veo.
found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten,
Fue un buen
carved
guiño.
from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans.
A ver
The
quién consigue
kitten
playos de
too
mí.
wished to become a fox,
Bueno,
but its tail was too slender and it could not
no,
grow
ojalá sea
coat
la
of
suerte,
richly
ojalá sea la
colored
suerte
fur.
nada. Ojalá la suerte del
Yet when the
principio.
other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Furious at this happy
Ahí
resolution,
está la explosión
the
del
monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled,
Uy,
led the fox toward the fire,
buenas tardes.
and murdered it.
Mm,
The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take
Sí,
this,
sí, sí.
quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good.
¿Tú tienes ese?
Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight.
Sí, sí, sí.
If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
Te dejo pasar el güey porque va a ser muy castroso. Ay, no. ¿Qué hice?
We solved it!
¡Ah! Era broma.
I remember now.
No.
This is not just the balladeer story.
No, porque te toca.
It is his very own memories.
No, me
I
metí.
made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened.
¿Por
To
qué te
become a
estás
god,
tocando tan
he was
creepy?
experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own
No sé
dreams,
cómo me estoy curando,
and
pero
then
me
hid
estoy
it
curando.
inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
Oh, no lo veré.
It's hard to believe that this person really
No me tires.
existed,
No me
let alone
tires.
that he tried to give us on more than one occasion.
No.
Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a
No.
puff of smoke.
No.
The balladeer agreed to
Ay,
help
sí,
me look for
sí.
information about the
Oye,
descendants,
mira.
and
Mamá.
although he was
No.
unsuccessful, he still helped
Ay, mira.
you.
No, no.
Before he vanished, he confirmed
Sí,
an
llegó.
important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this
Te la
world.
me cum. No.
We still don't know how the change to Erminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui,
Hoy sí te di.
but in all
Ay, te mata
likelihood,
cum.
they won't even remember their own harbinger.
Ah.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around.
No.
But still,
Es que no sé,
Paimon
vale.
doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions.
Es verdad.
We look, we see,
Cosas.
and we comprehend,
Ah.
but the question still troubles us.
Ay. No sé qué ir.
So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face.
Bueno,
When you give someone the truth, you give them a
voy
chance
a
to
ir
choose their own
con
destiny.
más habilidad en este.
To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering,
¿Qué cosa?
the light of wisdom is always there,
¿El árbol?
guiding us toward a better
No,
destination.
eso no me cabe.
And that is what you have been doing all along.
Me pica.
Yeah, Mia's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation
Ya la
again.
arruinaste con tu comida.
Ahí está.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't
No,
you take her out for a walk to clear her head?
Ayuda.
You got it.
No,
Come on, traveler.
no puedo
You
ver.
need to get
Ya,
out of
se
your head
acabó
for
el
a while.
resto.
You'll feel much better after taking a walk.
Sigue soñando.
Ok, eso es
Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar.
¿Cómo
That'll
estará?
be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only...
The wind rises.
¡Oh! ¡Ay, activaste! Maldito. ¡Uy, sí, la mano! Eso.
Behold,
¡Oh!
Ay, la desactivé, demonios. Por aquí debería haber una entrada. Si no recuerdo, este lugar tiene 2 o 3 entradas.
Le voy a dar una
the wind rises.
vueltecita, voy a hacer como que no voy. Y al final sí llego. ¡Oh! Sí. Mira, mira, mira. Le pegué. ¡Ay, era Bruno! ¡Era Bruno! Regrésame.
What you eat
De
first?
nada. ¿Qué fue? ¿Qué fue? ¡Ay, maté a eso sin querer!
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
Sí. Pues sí. ¿Qué personaje? O sea, esa cosa no tiene derechos. Ese personaje ya
Paimon will be right
que
here
mata a
when you
todo el
figured
mundo.
stuff out. Then we can get something to eat.
Sí, no. Exacto. Mate otra vez. Qué pendejo.
What is it? Have you figured it all out?
Ok, perdón. Lo siento. Ay, no, qué estúpido. No la apuntó.
Why'd you jump above?
Sí. Sí, a veces sí lo dice. ¿No sé?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill.
Sí, no me puede hablar.
Look, here.
¿Ah, sí? No llegué.
Ahí está.
¡Ay, una broma!
Hey! Hey, wait! Hmm? You mean me?
Oye, oh,
No,
¿te
not
imaginas que
you. That kid.
¿te imaginas que
Didn't
la
you
final-
see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh sunsettias and
Uy.
ran off. Look,
que la mina-
if you're gonna help out here, you can't
Bueno,
keep
ok,
spacing
espera.
out, okay? What is it? Works.
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city.
No sé a qué le di 2
It's so
granadas.
exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Who's
Ay,
that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please.
Sí, 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 gracias.
I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look,
Entonces,
we're all out of sunset.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more.
Stop.
¿dónde fue? Ah, arriba de la- sí, pues,
I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, you don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is...
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits.
Hey,
Uy.
what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see
No
you.
me das, no me das, no me das. Aléjate. Uy. Ok, y la eco se copia. No, me están rodeando. Déjenme en paz. Déjenme en paz. Me escapo. Uy. Mátalo, mátalo, mátalo. Kiriko, poco. Ok. Es que de un lado me está persiguiendo un signo, luego por
Este
otro
lado.
lado me da el signo, luego me regreso y sigue el signo.
Behold!
Ah, no, no es cierto, volví y mataron a Kiriko.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his sunsettias? Isn't... Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Ah, guess I should wash them before I take them back.
¿Cómo que no mataste con un gato?
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Ah, have we met before?
Era broma.
Tratamundo se llama.
No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
No.
Absolutely sure.
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
O sea, un retrasado me gana.
A puppet?
Ay,
What makes you think that?
Huh?
no, sí es
You're
imposible. Sí,
right.
sí es
The
imposible.
look on his face.
I guess you do know me
Mira,
after
ya te
all.
copiaron.
That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important. Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really
Uy,
working for
casi
that
me.
guy? He said you don't want any more of them.
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's
let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Muy bien. Aunque siendo sincero, creo que yo no. Si yo estoy en ese lugar, creo que no lo hubiera recordado quién hubiera sido. O sea, yo lo hubiera dejado vivir su vida normal. O sea, ¿para qué volverle a recordar algo que él ha querido borrar de su vida?
Quit following me.
Si eso lo hace sufrir mucho, no tiene sentido que le recordemos algo que él no quiere.
No, ya llegó juego.
Behold.
Eso es muy cruel. Así que.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really
Oh,
went and
taquero.
picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me.
No pude matar.
Sorry,
No
boss.
puedo matar a ese.
I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
Ya no está ahí.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world. Like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right?
Ay, güey.
Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this.
But I don't...
No.
No. You're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done.
Voy a presumir mis castillos.
Thanks for waiting for me.
Bien, este Scaramuccia me agrada, muy amable.
Ese.
Ahí sí me voy a teletransportar porque no tengo ganas de estar escalando o buscando las escaleras correctas, chicos. Qué hueva.
No.
Por eso odio Sumeru.
Ya sé.
The wind rises.
Y es. Ay, no, ese. Y eso que no salen ahí, güey. Me voy. Ah, no, no me voy. No camino. Ojalá un científico no me guache.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
No le doy. No puedo.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well,
Wanderer.
it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes.
No,
Something
¿por qué me
far
prestas
distant
así
in the
esto?
past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation? Oh, okay. You want to tell me. but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please,
Ok.
tell me the
Ya
truth.
tengo.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you.
Oh,
As a
no.
non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity.
No se muere.
You adamantly
típico.
believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
¿Cómo se sube con H?
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything! What a weird situation!
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. We can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Creo que solo Kiriko dice eso en
Good
intro.
point.
Lo dejó
Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
No lo he escuchado. O sea,
Thank
he
you.
jugado Kiriko toda la mañana y no lo he escuchado decir.
Prepare yourselves, everyone.
Vamos allá. Recuerdos fluctuantes. Ahora vamos a revivir todo lo que pasó, Scaramuccia.
¡Ay! No, 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 no.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth.
No me
But
preocupo.
be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world.
Sounds like an immersive experience.
Qué bueno.
It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer
Ay,
incarnation,
qué buen tepe.
this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved too. No mining crew would be capable of this.
Eso que no voy a llorar.
There's someone passed out on the ground.
Entonces, ¡ay! Modo torreta.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened?
Oh,
How'd you
perdón.
get stuck here? Are you in? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is
Ok,
Katsuragi,
perdón.
deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tataru Suna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tataru Suna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic.
No
The
lo va a hacer.
balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tataru Suna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tataru Suna incident.
No puede con la de esta, la mitad ya no tiene el... ¡Ay, ya no tiene!
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Que no es Neo.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide.
Wow.
He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
¿Sabes? Cuando los puedo frente de cuentas,
¿Qué es eso?
Huh? What are we doing back here? Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
Ay, el niño.
ay no.
I was abandoned, like you.
Ya te cargo.
I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tataru Suna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What
Sigue volando, sigue volando, sigue volando.
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped
Pero es que no
breathing.
te manda para enfrente, te manda para arriba, chingada madre.
What's wrong?
No,
Say
no,
something!
No, y es que tú puedes volar.
You promised me we could be family!
Ese personaje ibas a volar.
You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too.
No, es que igual puedes volar.
Pobrecito tú. ¿Qué le tienen que recordar
The voices
eso?
have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
No te puedo matar.
Let's keep going.
Déjate, déjate. Déjate.
Pero es que no lo pueden dejar en paz, ya. Ay, qué buena esquivada hice ahí.
do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you.
Y si me
I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Continue to drift aimlessly.
Venga, te doy un
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
No, mamita.
Muy bien, vamos.
This place is
Puta
dark.
Ah, ya me acuerdo de este lugar.
No, igual puedes volar con
Paimon
eso,
knows this
chingada
place.
madre.
It's the delusion factory in Inazuma.
No, sí puedes.
In
Mira,
the
nomás el
original
mame es
version
fácil.
of events, the traveler once encountered the balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar. Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
No, no.
What do you have to gain from belittling
Oh.
your subordinates?
Oh,
You might not want to admit it,
Oh,
but
oh,
you are a
oh,
part of this
mira.
clan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of
mira,
course,
ahí te va.
even this pales in comparison to being
Una te cacha, una te cacha.
experimented on by the doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how
No, me vas a
negotiating
dar.
never seems to be
Ay,
your
pinche
strong
buen pendejo.
suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Oh,
Save your breath. I
Mel.
know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it.
Ay,
Don't
güey, ¿y
start
eso?
thinking you're invincible,
Yes, ay, güey, sí,
and
güey.
don't let your emotions
Sí,
get in
lo
the
hiciste
way.
muy bien, Te terminaron matando.
Surely you're not
Qué perfecto lo
worried
hiciste.
about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest.
Bueno,
and
por
start
encima de ti
pretending
sí
like you're
está.
above everyone else.
Totalmente.
Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Es un personaje balanceado.
Poor
Oye, sí.
little tongue?
Balanceado, entonces,
She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Okay.
Looks Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's
Uy,
sage
la tiene.
Nafis refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient.
Me estoy rifando con
You
el
should
personaje
know that
roto,
becoming a
tipo,
god is far from a
vinculado.
trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move
Nothing worse than what I've been through
Uy.
before then, Doctor.
Y no la mató porque está nerfeada.
You were the most
fin no te
resilient
toqué.
test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they
No,
think
yo
if
no
they
hago-
knew
yo
that
no hago esos
nothing
tiros.
matters to you apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more
Ojalá
respectful
hacer estos tiros
tone,
contigo.
Scaramuccia. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable
Ah,
to
sí?
watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's
Me
normal
feo.
for him to give
Me
you the
feo.
creeps.
Personaje
He
me
scares
feo.
the bejeebers
Vinculado.
out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
Me estaba con full ahora. No sé qué la curó. Pero no tan rápido.
Too
Me
slow.
dijiste estaba baja. Y ya. Ok.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any
What the
differences
fuck?
between humans and
Me los
puppets?
estoy esmurteando.
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
Güey, era bueno.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment.
No, monkey,
Whatever I
monkey,
am
no.
due, let it come to pass. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules,
Ay, no.
with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you,
No, maldito Rico, ya me
and I
estás
finally
cansando.
realized that reclaiming my missing sins
Ok, no,
might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul searching as a
El
Shugenja,
personaje nerfeado
I've never fully
no
understood
está
it.
ganando.
Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself.
Ana.
So I beg you,
Ana,
grant me
hola,
this opportunity
estoy
to
en putas frente
gain a
tuyo.
purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours.
Ok, ahora con más sentido.
You have made your decision. Now, take this.
set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here?
Ok. ¿Cuántos
You're a
players
human as
aquí?
far as I'm concerned. Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasu will be thrilled.
This is
Qué asco dan personajes. Ya, bueno.
Is he alright?
all worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
No, ese sí lo jugamos. Ese evento sí. Porque si yo jugué, sí, claro. Pero si partís por ser tan buen detectivoso, seguro que estás haciendo lo mejor de ti para quedar bien útil para el equipo.
This is trying my patience.
Oh!
You got any more stupid questions? Insignificant past!
That's far enough.
Behold! Squall and Fury! At my command, you shall fall! Wretched vermin! Behold! Squall and Fury! My endless cycle upon the gale! Quit following me! The wind rises! Feeble human! Unsightly insects!
Toma ya. El combate sí estuvo muy complicado porque no tenía reacciones.
Imbecile! Get out of my sight!
No hay pedo. O sea, ellos están pendejos.
Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again.
Oh,
You're
ya
definitely
desbloqueé
back
el
to your
baile
old
de...
self. Wait,
No,
but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, Even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Me parece perfecto. Al menos es un poquito más amable. Anatmans. Salgamos de este loco lugar, por favor.
Ay, sigo siendo francés 5. Mira, es que
Welcome back, traveler.
vamos a
Paimon,
llegar a las 7
Balladeer.
para que ustedes tomen bronce 4.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that
Ay,
name?
no, yo estoy jugando
It's
hace
fine.
una hora. Estoy jugando soy un
But
consolador.
I was just thinking,
Ya.
I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for
Traigo
good?
el skin de los pobres.
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it.
Ah, se sale un
I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless,
a la
there's
madre,
nothing in the world
estos
worth
500
regretting.
porque lleva 5
Lesser Lord
lleva 3
Kusanali,
minutos aquí.
you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes,
Los que
and I took
tienen
pains to make sure that you'd acquire
tiempo de
that
espera.
information naturally.
Why would you go to such
Los que tienen
lengths?
tiempo de espera, sí, yo-
You trying to win me over too?
están en
In
ese
all
rol.
honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan.
Oh,
But
matan a
before
Willow.
that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then
Oye,
I'd be no
me
different
lo
from the
robó otra
doctor.
Willow.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it.
Ya me iba a curar.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future,
Güey,
I'll
tiene
continue to
skin de-
search
Ay,
Irminsul more deeply
No,
and
yo-
see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul.
Eso
What
no-
exactly happened before and after that point?
no copy.
I want to know as well. I will try.
Ah, Lucy.
Traveler.
Ah.
After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma?
Okay.
So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor, and I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
O sea, como-
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that
Ah, sí, sí. Gracias.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
Ay, güey, ok.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you
Why?
because
No, no,
Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
me vi bien.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Bien, así que ya se me decidirá el nombre.
Have you got anything?
Sí, está ahorita. Pero... Ay. Ok. Está encerrado.
Pero tampoco. Ay, chicos, lo he estado pensando y creo que ya sé.
¿Qué pasó?
Viento sombrío. A mí me gusta el nombre. No sé cuántas veces fui a... No sé cuántas veces voy a poder modificar el nombre, ya creo que nomás va a ser esto, o sea, creo que me voy a quedar con viento sombrío. Así que bueno. Viento sombrío.
Are you sure?
Pensé que tenía equipo.
Oh, all right. If you say so.
Hola, hola Mario, muchas gracias por pasarte
Now you
directo.
have a name of your own.
Muchas gracias por pasarte directo.
What about a nickname?
Viento
Are you
sombrío.
done yet?
Still thinking.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
he's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore. So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
Muy bien, con eso damos por concluida la sesión. No sé si va a aparecer una animación.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean
No, me
because
equivoqué.
everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continue to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night,
Bueno chicos, pues ya quedó mi nombre para Wanderers, Viento Sombrío. No sé cuántas veces es el límite para cambiarle el nombre. Yo sinceramente creo que me voy a quedar con Viento Sombrío. Me encanta. También tenía considerado su nombre en inglés, Wind Shadow. Pero creo que me gustó más Viento Sombrío.
That Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
Vuelve al lugar de descanso. Miren, ya aparece raro, pero Viento Sombrío. Ya sinceramente ya no sé cómo se le va a cambiar, cuál es el número limitado de veces y no sé dónde se tiene que checar eso. Pero a mí me da igual, yo me voy a quedar con Vientos Sombríos. Si llego a cambiarlo, pues lo cambiaré y ya está. Si llego a cambiarlo será por Wind Shadow o quizás encuentre otro nombre para un personaje de viento. Pero dadas las circunstancias de Scaramuccia, yo creo que sí me quedaré con Viento Sombrío. Queda muy bien, la verdad.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
Gracias, María.
You sound lost and confused.
¿Quién es?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind over...
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk...
Esta voz me suena de algo. Es una de las 11. Es una de las 11.
It is not displaced, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
history does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe...
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff?
Esta será la famosa tercera de los 11 patuis.
Anyway, that face is still lying there broken. It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
La transposición de la Génesis. Ay, ya está. ¡Ah! ¡Es eso! Ya, esto es para cambiarle el nombre. Ya entendí, ya entendí. Pues bueno, no creo que lo use en un futuro cercano. Me encanta el nombre que le puse, aunque debo admitir que en esta parte se ve muy raro, viento sombrío. Y pues bueno, chicos, el directo ya se nos hizo largo, ya teníamos que haber terminado esta misión hace mucho tiempo. Mañana lo más probable es que ya tengan el video completo de mi experiencia en la convención de anime. Lamento el grito de mi compañero nuevamente. Pues bueno, me ha encantado esta misión, fue muy interesante ver todo esto. Y todavía nos falta ver la información, ¿por qué? Porque este personaje nos da un montón de información sobre los 11, cada uno de los 11 está aquí. Y también está la Shogun, la reina menor Kusane, incluido la Arconte Crayo, que es la primera información que vamos a tener del Arconte Crayo. Sin contar de que es el Arconte Crayo. También habla de Kadeha Kazuha, yo no me acuerdo que tiene eso. Más sobrevivientes familiares, se cambia literalmente todo. Esto es increíble. Se supone que el bufón es el quien sabe de nuestro hermano. No sé qué nivel tengo de amistad de Scaramuccia. De hecho, ya está a punto de ser nivel 4. Ya muy pronto voy a tener esta información tan importante. Pero bueno. Así que bueno, chicos, espero que como siempre les haya gustado este directo. La verdad es que yo me lo pasé de lujo. Y pues bueno, chicos, nos vemos hasta la próxima. Adiós.